Today is a day off. I decided to cook something extraordinary for my family in the fall. My husband brought home these oyster mushrooms from the wetlands. I decided to make julienne, very tasty, very healthy. It is made easily and simply, just in about 20-30 minutes. If you have all the ingredients, the oyster mushrooms were washed and cleaned before cooking. 6 onions, 3 cloves of garlic, ground pepper, sour cream, any firm cheese, and salt to taste. The mushrooms are washed and cleaned in advance. We chop the oyster mushrooms into small cubes. We take the already washed and cleaned oyster mushrooms like these. We chop them into small cubes. I have already cut the mushrooms into small cubes. Now we move on to the next step of cutting the onion. We can cut the onion into cubes or half rings. We can make square cubes, but I cut them into half rings. I slice the onion into half rings. Now we combine it with the oyster mushrooms and place them in the pan with sunflower oil. We sauté them a little to let the water evaporate. Here, I first place the mushrooms in a calm pan, without oil, so that the water contained in the mushrooms evaporates. Because if you put it in oil, whether it's butter or olive oil, it will sizzle, it will splatter on the stove, and the effect won't be the same. Add half a ring of onion. Mix everything carefully and well. Then using a spatula, we mix everything together. No salt is needed for now. The mushrooms are almost ready. While the oyster mushrooms are frying, we wait for 5 to 7 minutes without oil. Then we add sunflower oil and fry for another 5 to 7 minutes. Next step, grate the cheese on a coarse grater. This is to sprinkle on top of the mushrooms and mix them together with the sour cream sauce. You should preferably use natural cheese. I will be grating the cheese on this grater. Thank you. After 7 minutes, I added sunflower oil to the mushrooms so that when the water evaporated, the mushrooms with onions would fry until golden brown. This is how the beautiful mushrooms turned out. The aroma fills the whole house. It smells very flavorful. The water has already evaporated. You see, they are fatty and very juicy. The true forest mushroom gives an extraordinary aroma. Champignons do not provide such an aroma. Therefore, it is preferable to prepare the dish with natural forest mushrooms. Oyster mushrooms are the most ideal option. Red-capped mushrooms, chanterelles, and hoof mushrooms can also be used. But oyster mushrooms are more beneficial and provide a richer texture and flavor. Next, I will show how to prepare the sour cream sauce that we will use to pour over our mushrooms for making the julienne. I took this little cup. I put 500 grams of sour cream in it, but I only use half a pack, about 250 grams. Then I take garlic, grated on a grater.
Now add a bit of freshly ground pepper. Add a pinch of salt. Mix everything together thoroughly well. And that's it. It's all done.
This is how the sauce turned out. You can add salt to taste. I add a little, as the sauce will be used later. I carefully add a generous amount of freshly ground black pepper to the mixture, ensuring it is evenly distributed. Then, I proceed to thoroughly mix all the ingredients together until they are well combined and the flavors are perfectly blended. The next step is the final one. We sprinkle our mushrooms in the pot, we pour the sour cream sauce over them, sprinkle cheese on top, and place it in the oven for 10 minutes. I take the sour cream sauce and now pour it over the mushrooms. Then we sprinkle hard cheese on top. We have a beautiful pot like this. Now, we put it in the oven for 10 minutes. The julienne cooks for 10 minutes at a temperature of 180 degrees. After 10 minutes, the julienne is ready. Here is the julienne, and for the final touch, we sprinkle it for beauty and garnish it with parsley. I have very fresh cut parsley that was grown by my lovely little son. Look at this beauty. It smells very delicious. The aroma fills the whole house. We are ready to welcome guests. Sit down with your family and try it. So watch our channel. Use our recipes. Share your tips. I would be very happy to learn something new from you. Enjoy watching, bon appétit, and goodbye to everyone.